so he's not going to be able to make it tonight. But we send all of our people over there. I would just say what's awesome about that place is the fact that you can go in and you can tell them what you're trying to do, and they just basically pick out what you need. There's not a whole lot of guessing like, hey, I need this or I need that. They're really, really good about taking care of our people, and they give our D1 people a pretty good discount. So that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Mike Child.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. Well, once again, my name is Mike Childs. I am one of the therapists over there. I'm also a licensed massage therapist as well. So Fusionetics is a form of trigger point massage therapy. It's basically, it helps me identify your movement dysfunction. So every day picking up groceries or movement, picking up the kids, bending down, sleeping wrong, you develop certain hitches and movements in your feet, your knees, your shoulders, even your neck. And basically what I do, I take you through a system that quantifies that in a number system, and it helps me identify the most severe places that I need to pay closer attention to. So the goal of Fusionetics is basically to take a system, let's say your pelvis. If you can't bend all the way over, well, why can't you? It's mostly because you have an impingement or your muscle is not elongated the way it should be. So what I do, I go in there and I manipulate the muscle to where I can elongate it, and so you can get that length. Now Taylor will take that length that I gave you, that movement efficiency that I gave you, and he'll strengthen it. So then he'll basically correct your form. So if you ever had like some type of massage and you walk out of massage just feeling great and it feels good, but then a couple of days later you're sort of back to it, it's because after you lengthen the muscle, you didn't strengthen it. So that's sort of my goal, and sort of Taylor's goal as well, to combine this Fusionetics with that. Inside the Fusionetics that most of you guys have taken already, you'll have an email and basically hold you accountable to it, not only in here, but at home as well. So you'll see self-care, pro-practitioner life, and pro-practitioner. The pro-practitioner portion is where you'll come in and see me. You'll see me either once or twice a week. I think I have a couple of you seeing me 3 times a week if your schedule's available. The self-care is at home. It's a form of stretching. It's a form of movement, breathing, just to get your muscles to stay lengthened, to stay flexible for everything. When you go in, if you haven't been tested, I'll get your name and we'll test you sometime either tomorrow or next week to get everything taken care of. And do you have any questions about the Fusionetics or anything? Any concerns? Like Taylor was saying, pro athletes are using it as well as the common person. So we want to sort of blend everything together to where you can burn it as much as you possibly can, or get your maximum weight potential that you want as well. Do we have any questions or anything with the?
I think the one question I had was, and I know that one thing I want all these people doing is, and our members doing, is the online profile that they can update daily. And I think that's, how exactly does that work?
Okay, so with the online profile, like I said, you're going to get an email. It's going to welcome you to Fusionetics. Most of you got that already. You have to take a look through there. It's sort of maneuvering, but basically it has a place where it has a calendar drop down, so every day is accounted for. So every day you're doing something. Some of you have it just Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Some of you have it every single day, 7 days of the week. Depending on what you tell me, that's how I sort of set it up. With that online profile, you check it every day to make sure that you're on the track, you're doing what you're supposed to do. Not only that, there's ways that you, along the heading, which are under the profile in that same area, you basically have a place that it accounts for your daily water intake. It accounts for the food that you're eating as well. Also, if you have completed that day's program of self-care, which is basically stretching. And if you have any questions, you can type them out into the notes section. So if you don't remember, you just type it out. And when I pull it up, you can say, hey, I had some questions. Can you look at my notes real quick? And I can go in there and look at the notes as well. But you have to stay on that. You have to literally go in there. So it's also holding you accountable as well as holding us accountable to make sure that we are going there, doing your profile, making sure that we are doing the correct exercise for the day. I meant to also say the self-care is at home. The Pro Practitioner Light is mostly foam rolling, and we'll show you. It's foam rolling, it's a little bit of work on the outside. Also with that, on your daily thing, if you don't know what you're supposed to do, let's say it says something crazy under there, you're like, I don't know what this is, what is it? Well, you can click onto that, and then it actually will pull up a video. And I'll show you a short video real quick on how to do it, the instructions on what you're supposed to, how far to go, and everything of that nature. So it's basically a coach at home, and to help educate you a little bit more on what you're going through. And if you have any questions when you come in, always ask me, and I can put it in layman's terms, or just regular people terms. Not saying that you guys are stupid or anything like that.
Thank you very much for doing this for our burners and our challengers.
Oh yeah, no worries, no worries.
Thank you.
And if you guys have any questions, even if you're not scheduled to come in, you can always pop your head in, and I have take time to talk to everybody. If you have, issues with your feet, that you might, something's going on, I can always look at it and, tell you what you further need to do. If you need to come and see the doctor, or if you need to, or if I can fix that, or someone else can fix that for you right then and there. Okay?
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, all right, cool. So I guess to start this off, is I work for this amazing company called KP Fit. We're actually local. But only local will actually do this to you every single day. And what it comes down to is this: you can train all you want. You can be in here 8 hours a day. You can take all the supplements you want. What it comes down to is real food, healthy food, clean food, and keeping it on a schedule. Usually 3 hours. Every 3 hours, what I do. Like I said, it doesn't matter how hard you train or what you do. You have to eat the food. It has to be good. So what we offer to you is an awesome base plan to get the food to your door. And there's no fillers, no binders, no hormones in it. It's the cleanest possible food you can get. We prep it for you, deliver it, and actually give you macros too. So whatever they want you to do for macro base, if you want to take in 1,800 calories or 2,400 calories, you can actually match it with us with an email. So it's the cleanest possible food you can get, and like I said, it's delivered, take all the guesswork out of it. So there's no room for cheating. We tell you, if you do no dairy with the booze, people with us usually 2-3 pounds per week, just a diet, which is incredible, which is absolutely amazing. So I was actually, back in the day, training, I was 200 pounds fat, didn't know how to eat, training like a typical bro, I guess you would call it. And I was getting bigger, but I was also getting kind of pudgy. So my nutritionist kicked me in the butt, got me on a diet. I went from 200 pounds to 170 lean, and then with her, I'm back at 190 muscle, just eating clean, training my butt off, get my hormones optimal, and taking the right supplements. So anybody can do it. And I'm kind of excited now, and I'm a big advocate for this guy because she's keeping me in shape. And like I said, our plans are actually the cheapest around too. So for 3 meals a day, delivered to your door is $104. And if you guys sign up with us, we're going to give you guys 10% off for the whole duration of your guys' weight loss challenge. So I think it was up to be like $104 for the whole week delivered to your door. And it's every single day, which is incredible. So we cook the food clean that day, and deliver to your door that night. Nobody else does it. It's unheard of. So for that price, it's pretty amazing. Yeah. Yeah, she knows. And like I said, a lot of companies who do this, they freeze their food. And they do a bunch of weird stuff to kind of keep it fresh. Like us, we don't have any preservatives, no binders in it, so the food rots quick. That's why we cook the food clean that day and deliver it to your door. So you get 3 meals in a cute bag like this, and you're good to go. It's insulated too. Keeps it cold for roughly 6 hours. So everything you need for this challenge is with us. I wish you guys luck.
Thank you. Monday are going to get your books. I don't know if you guys remember last year, but both Max Out to Cash Out and Burn It to Earn It, you're going to get an entire help guide. And then what you're going to get is throughout this contest, we're also going to give you more inserts to put in that as you go. But that's going to be kind of like your Bible through this thing, and we're going to give that to you. It's going to have all the information on supplements as well as Cater Be Fit. Because I'll just go ahead and stand up. I personally, you guys know we used to have Nutrition Solutions in here. Nutrition Solutions was, it was great. I have nothing bad to say about that company at all. But I think the main thing is even for my pro athletes, the logistics were a little hard, and the fact that one thing that I know we had a lot of problems with was being able to keep the food fresh and it being consistently good and quality food. Just recently, I actually started taking Stevie's food probably about a month ago, and honestly was blown away. It was like I'm getting breakfast, and it's not my breakfast, which is the same thing every morning, which is like my scrambled eggs, my oatmeal, and my banana. It was like I was getting like blueberry protein pancakes with like blueberries, you know, and then blueberries, strawberries, something else, and then like the next morning I would have like an eggs Benedict and all sorts of crazy stuff. And what I loved about it was delivered to my house every single day. So you will get all the information on that, and then the deal that they're actually giving our D1 members for this challenge is pretty incredible. I know me personally, when I started going to meal services, I used to cook for myself all the time. I used to cook all my meals every Sunday. It used to take me about 3 hours to cook everything for myself on Sunday. And I would go to a Whole Foods or something like that and try to buy really clean and healthy. And I was spending roughly about $160 a week buying all my food. And then I was spending about 3 hours on my Sunday cooking. So not only was this saving me time, it was also saving me money. So, and just the convenience of having it there, and the fact that they're a lot more creative with their meals than I was.
So our chef is incredible. Like I said, the average for a week for people making their own food was like 25 to 35. It was 150 bucks. So for me, I usually spend around 160. But I'm eating 6 meals a day. So all you guys, if you guys think about it, are usually around 130, 160 dollars. We're the average of 104, so we're way below the limit. And like I said, we're taking all the guesswork out of it for you. And other companies are based out of like Fort Lauderdale, Jacksonville. They have to freeze their food, deliver it over here. We're actually in Holdsmar, so right down the street. And that's how we get away with going so cheap and delivering it to your door. So we should guys
just say, oh, sorry, I was just saying one thing. I did Cater Me Fit, my wife and I did some time ago. Still when you guys were delivering twice a week.
Yeah,
so I don't know when it went every day, but that maybe dated when we did it. But what we found is, you know, we have 2 kids, so and kind of one of the reasons, what we ended up doing was just going with breakfast and lunch, and no dinner, because we still had to cook dinner for the kids and everything like that. So that worked pretty well for us. We ended up phasing it out after a while, but I'll second Taylor on the quality and the tastiness of the food.
Yeah, I mean, nobody else can do what we do because we cook the food that day. So it kind of gives rid of all the variables of having food frozen, having, you know, other weird things happen to your fresh food. Because honestly, fresh food rots quick. You put an apple on the table, what happens? It rots. So we do that. We don't have any fillers or binders into it. So what we do is cook it that day, like I said, deliver within a 5-hour span. So you have the freshest quality food to you. And there's no cheating with us because you can't. And I'm gonna be honest with you too, I don't know what you guys are doing, but usually when you run a plan like this, make a food log. Eat our food, keep a log of what you're doing. And if you cheat, I say, you know, I don't know how, I know for me I have to have 1 cheat meal a week. It's 1 cheat meal, not a whole day. So, yeah, 1 meal. If it's cookie dough, if you want to go out with your boyfriend and have whiskey, you know, whiskey's probably the worst thing for you. But whatever it is, you go out and have that 1 meal to reset yourself and then enjoy it. But write it in your log so you can see how you're doing. And for me, I like to hear people say they lost 3 or 4 pounds a week, or if it's 5 pounds, or if it's 6, you know, whatever it is, I like to hear that. That's going to get us out there more. So, yeah. Wish you guys luck. Train your butts off.
I mean, I'm pretty candid on my emails, and the fact that I love to open up the ways of communication and kind of let you guys know who I am, who Kay is. And even though we are growing and this is becoming a pretty substantial, business here, and we're having a pretty good impact in the community, we wanted to always feel like a family-owned place, And so I'll just be honest with you when I tell you, I have never personally gotten, or D1 has never benefited anything from promoting like Discount Nutrition Center or Cater Me Fit or anything else. The only thing we truly care about through this is about setting you guys up for success. And so if we know things that have made us successful, like Naz taking care of me over at DNC, or these guys taking care of me with Cater Me Fit, we're just going to refer to that. We're just going to relay that message to you. It has no formal business partner, no contract binding agreement with anything like that. That's when I was like, listen, I had one group in here. I was like, well, this group works. It's just whatever it is. I mean, I think what we're trying to do is we're trying to set you guys up for success, because at the end of the day, y'all's results is our business. If you guys get incredible results, you're going to go out in the community and talk about your results. People are going to actually see your results, and it's going to bring more people over to me, and that's what I want, and that's how this business grows. That's what we've always believed in ever since I took over running this place 3 years ago. So that's kind of what we're doing. I think the main thing that this whole competition is summed up to is it's an experience. We want you to have a great experience over these next 2 months and be able to get a little selfish, okay? Get a little selfish in saying, I am going to take care of myself. I'm going to take care of my body, and I am going to budget time for me. I'm going to budget time for my training. I'm not going to make excuses about why I can't get in here. I'm not going to make excuses about why I can't eat right. I'm not going to make excuses of why I can't take my supplements, and just budget time for yourself. I think that's the whole idea behind the burn it to earn it and the max out to cash out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to track your results and we're going to track your gains. The main thing that I want this whole thing to come across is that the whole idea about D1 to me and what D1 represents to me is it's about telling people how to live like an athlete. You know, not just how to train like an athlete. Like we say we are the place for the athlete. Well, we want you to learn like what an athlete goes through. And the other day I was actually analyzing it when I was training on my NFL Combine guys. And I was like, man, these guys are just getting incredible results in such a short amount of time. And then I kind of started analyzing it, and I was like, well, it's obvious. I mean, it's because their body is their business. I was like, they wake up every day, they come here, and their sole purpose in living that day is to eat, sleep, and train the right way, right? Now, obviously, I missed that. I used to be able to go through that. I missed that a lot. Now I have to work and, do things like that, and all that stuff. But
Looking at me.
Yeah, well, it's awesome. So, but no, I mean, it used to be pretty simple. My life used to be simple, and it was very easy to do these types of things. So, but now as things have progressed, especially as recently, I realize what you guys go through, right? I mean, there are excuses, and a lot of them are, viable excuses, right? That you can have those. But at the same time, we need to figure out a way to find a balance and to take care of ourselves. And it's not just about, hey, I'm going to come in here at D1 for an hour and just get my butt whooped, because that's a good part. That's a good starting point. But understand, in order to live like an elite athlete, in order to live like a D1 athlete, and what the whole purpose of this place is to me, is it's for you to pick up on what is it to be that elite athlete. And in order to be that elite athlete, what I learned from watching these guys and also living it myself is that it's not just about the hour we're in here. What are you doing with your other 23, right? And how are those other 23 consistently measured up towards my gains? Doesn't mean you have to sell your life to it, right? Doesn't mean we all of a sudden all have to, want to, drop out of our jobs and start becoming professional bodybuilders or figure models or whatever. It's just about saying, hey, listen, I have these goals, and you guys know in your job and in your career, you take strides outside of that 8-hour workday to put yourself in a position to be successful in life, right? And with your career or with your family or with anything else. And it's the same thing with your body and your gains, right? You can't sit here and say, you know what, I got my hour in, done, and then forget about it and table it. It's got to be a lifestyle. It's got to be something you live all the time. And we're hoping if you